Donald Trump has overperformed the polls once again. He has destroyed his fellow Republican primary candidates in the Nevada caucus. Let's take a look at the results and see where we came out. Donald Trump killing it. 30 delegates at stake in Nevada. Donald Trump, almost half of the votes went to Donald Trump. 45.9% of the vote, which gets him 14 delegates, just shy of half of the delegates at stake in Nevada. You'll see Marco Rubio coming in second place, around 24%, will get 7 delegates. Ted Cruz, third place, 21.4%, will get 6 delegates. And then 1 delegate apiece for our good buddy Ben Carson, hypnotherapist Ben Carson, and John Kasich, the most reasonable guy on the stage, dead last, because being reasonable on the Republican side doesn't do much for you. 3.6%, 1 delegate. How much longer can Kasich stay in this thing, you think?
I don't know why he's staying in.
Yeah.
I did hear a good theory from one of our interns about why Carson is staying in.
Right.
And that is because the longer he stays in, the more appearances he has on his campaign's dollar, and he can sell books.
Right.
So that kind of does make sense to me. Kasich, you have to imagine the end is coming soon.
Some interesting notes from the entrance polls that were done by CNN instead of exit polls to the caucuses. I don't know why, maybe because they're very long or I'm not really sure why. Anyway, entrance polls were done. And I want to go through some of the incredible areas where Donald Trump is just dominating and some of the areas where he's not. So Trump won both men and women easily. No real gender gap for Donald Trump. Donald Trump won all age groups except 17 to 29. Marco Rubio won that age group. Trump won all education levels, ranging from the most educated to the least educated. Trump won born again and evangelical Christians, which is sort of crazy because just a few years ago, he said he wouldn't even want to ban partial birth abortion, which is sort of like the lowest hanging fruit for getting somebody to say, yeah, we shouldn't have that. Donald Trump won regardless of what the most important issue was for voters. If your most important issue was immigration, Trump still won. If your most important issue was the economy and jobs, Trump won. If your most important issue was terrorism, Trump won. And if your most important issue was government spending, Trump won, which is insane because we know that his economic plan would completely blow up the deficit. If you are concerned about government spending being too high, Donald Trump is the last guy you should be voting for, yet he still carried that voting group. And now here's where Trump did not do so well. Trump did not win if you were most concerned with voting for someone who has a chance of winning the national election. If you went into the Nevada caucus and said, my priority is someone who can win in November, you were most likely to have voted for Marco Rubio. And if you went in and said, I want to vote for a candidate who shares my values, you did not vote for Donald Trump. Ted Cruz won there. So the real question now, Lewis, becomes, will this momentum continue for Donald Trump? I'm going to talk about that a little bit later in the show because first we have to talk about something else that happened last night.